Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Iyanatu Saida and you can call me Ian. I'm a student from Nahdlatul Ulama Islamic University and I come from the Sharia Banking study program. Here, I will present a journal article to fulfill my assignment. Let's follow this material. Okay. The title of the journal material that I will bring is Analysis of Calculation and Reporting of Annual Corporate Income Tax at PT Interconterminal Indonesia year 2020. Okay, abstract. The calculation and reporting of the annual corporate income tax return is a tax obligation that must be fulfilled by corporate taxpayers no later than the fourth month at the end of the tax period. This study aims to analyze the calculation and reporting the annual corporate income tax returns. The results of the study conclude that in calculating and reporting the annual corporate income tax return, PT Interconterminal Indonesia has not fully complied with the income tax law and Director General of Tax Regulations. Introduction. The objective of the research. Research at PT Interconterminal Indonesia focuses on calculating and reporting the agency's annual SPT. Whether the annual corporate SPT is calculated and reported in accordance with income tax law. The problem of the research. Tax are mandatory contribution or levies to the state that can be imposed by law on every individual or corporate taxpayers without receiving direct compensation or benefits. In addition, taxes for the state function as a budget, regulation, distribution, and stabilization. To maximize the function of the budget, there are three tax collection systems that apply in Indonesia, including the self system, the official assessment, and the withholding system. Furthermore, in order to correctly calculate, pay, and report taxes, taxpayers must understand and follow change in the tax law, EU Government Regulation (PP) and Minister of Finance Regulation (PMK). Method of the research. Calculation. Data collection. Based on the above internal calculation after the fiscal correction, PT Interconterminal Indonesia experienced an increase in losses of 354,500,000 to 738 rupiah. The company's losses therefore become 3,999,196,108 from the rupiah from the previous month. 3,567,993,370 rupiah. The data collection was using table style. Technique of analysis data. There are two types of forms that can be used to submit or report an annual notification depending on the subject of the taxpayer. From 1770 is used by individual taxpayers (OP), while from 1771 is used by corporate taxpayers. The annual notification letter submitted every year in the following year. For example, the annual report letter for 2020 submitted in 2021 with a predetermined submission deadline. Individual taxpayers must file their annual tax returns no later than March of the following year. Meanwhile, the deadline for submission of annual reporting letters for corporate taxpayers is April for the following year. Okay, finding and discussion. In Part A, taxable income and number 1 net fiscal income, it should be 3,308,457,027. This is due to the fact that in Appendix I.4, income subject to final income tax, which does not include tax objects, is filed in with the number 3,567,993,370. In Part C, tax credit number 8A, the internal tax credit shall be 437,556,885 rupiahs. This happened because the company did not fill out Appendix 3 of the domestic tax credit. So, in Part C tax credit number 9B, the amount of income tax deducted or collected is 437,156,885 rupiahs. Those party of underpaid or overpaid income tax shall be filed in at number 11B of overpaid income tax or 437,556,885 rupiahs. In number 13, you can choose whether to have the overpaid income tax in number 11B refunded or calculated with the tax debt. Conclusion. As a taxpayer, PT Interconterminal Indonesia has carried out its obligations well. This is evidenced by the timely reporting of its tax obligation. To next fiscal income, PT Interconterminal Indonesia for 2020 after fiscal correction is 3,308,457,027 rupiahs. In the 2020 financial year, PT Interconterminal Indonesia experienced a tax overpayment for 157,556,885 rupiahs. Okay, that's all my presentation material. Thank you very much for the time. More or less sorry, and the last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.